Alright, hey, what's up, you guys? Sonic1245 here. Welcome back to GSA Forever. Trying to think. Let me quick check the Stepbrother story to see what chapter we're on, because I don't know if I'm right. Chapter 11, okay. We are on chapter 11, my bad. Okay, so in the last chapter, we found out that Zeke is gay, and he came out to Corey, and Corey and Zeke kissed. Okay, so I had to tell my mom and Trace, only if you want to have an open relationship. You don't have to do anything, well, except give me piggyback rides. Zeke laughed, but I could see how nervous he was. We were sitting in his room together on his bed. He had his arm around me and I had my head on his shoulder comfortably. I'm worried about Trace. Then my mom. My mom may seem like a complete bitch, but she's not homophobic or heterosexual at all. I think she'll accept me fairly easy. Trace, not so much. And he's my best friend. I know he's an ass, but I really don't know what I'll do if he doesn't accept me, he said miserably. I took Zeke's hand in my own, and kissed his cheek. Hey, come on. If he's really your best friend, he'll accept you no matter what, I assure him. He smiled softly and swung around to kiss me on the lips. He got up and I copied him. He sighed and ran a hand through his hair nervously. You should leave. I'm going to tell my mom, and I kind of want to do it alone. No offense, it's just something I have to do. I nodded in understanding. I had wanted to be alone when I told my mom too. I thought I had been more positive my mom was going to be okay. Going to accept me when I told her. She loved me too much not to. I kissed Zeke deeply before hugging him. Good luck, I whispered, and he hugged me back. Thanks, Corey. I'll call you tonight and let you know how everything went. I won't tell Trace until tomorrow. I want to be alone. I want to tell him alone, too, he whispered. I nodded and kissed him before waving to leave his house. I sighed and made my way back home, hoping everything went well for Zeke, poor guy. I blushed when I saw Trace in the front yard. He had set up cones and was dribbling through them, practicing his dribbling and speed skills. His shirt was off and sweat was on his body, turning me on for some reason. I had looked away quickly before I had a mini-me pop me up to say hello.
Jackson,
with an awkward moment that would be to have to go through with my homophobic stepbrother. I made my way up the driveway, hoping Zeke would not talk to me. He'd look at me so sexy right now. Zeke. Think Zeke, Corey. Think Zeke. He was your boyfriend, not Trace. Trace was your stepbrother. Get straight in your head, mister. Corey, damn! I winced and spun around to face Trace as he panted and picked up the soccer ball. He rolled it to me and began to pick up the cones in the air. Put them in the garage and hand me my shirt. He growled. I tossed the soccer ball in the garage and grabbed Chase's shirt off the front porch. I walked over to him and tried not to blush as I handed it to him. He wiped his forehead and then shoved past me. I pouted and followed him through the garage into the house. After he set the cones down, Trace grabbed a glass out of the kitchen and glanced at me. Want a drink? He asked, his voice emotionless. I shrugged and nodded. He grabbed another glass and handed it to me before pouring both of us lemonade. We drank in an awkward silence. I really wish he would put on a shirt. I was having thoughts that a taken boy really shouldn't have to worry about that is not his boyfriend. Why were you at Zeke's? Trace asked, shocking me. He watched me closely, a glare making its way into his face. We had threesome with his mom, I said with a wink. Trace made a disgust face and shook his head. You're such a faggot. I was being serious. What were you doing at Zeke's house? I laughed and shrugged. We just hung out. What, I can't hang out with Zeke? I asked, fake faking hurt. He's my best friend, Trace said flatly, not yours. Yeah, he's a little more than my best friend. But sheesh, someone was a jealous hottie. I mean, it's not like I meant to take Zeke from him. Zeke just happened to be adorable and had a crush on me. Yeah, I didn't hold a gun to his head and say, Zeke loved me. That I wasn't that creepy yet. Aw, you're adorable with your jealousy, I gushed, poking him in the chest as I spoke. I'm not jealous, he cried defensively and smacked my hand away from him. I gave him a knowing grin, and he glared at me. I'm not, he repeated furiously. Sure, I said, barely managing to contain my laughter. Aw, he was so adorable when he went all jealous mode over his best friend. Shut up, Corey, he snapped as I coughed to hide his slight laugh. I just continued to give him a knowing grin. He clenched his fist tightly. Shut it before I hit you, he growled angrily. Trace is jealous, Trace is jealous. I explode and laugh violently, jumping up and running away before he could strangle me. Trace got up and stormed after me, trying to catch me and rip my throat out as I continued to scream. He was jealous. As Trace nearly caught me, I realized I should probably try to hide before he really did kill me. I snapped my mouth shut and zoomed around the living room, flying into the kitchen, hiding behind the counter as Trace was fast. I listened hard and pausing and looking around for me. I listened as I crept up the stairs, probably thinking I was hiding in my room, where I could lock the door. Psh! As if I knew Trace could pick the lock with little effort. I crept out of my hiding place and slowly made my way down to the basement. I shut the door silently and flicked on the lights, looking down. All my time here, and I had yet to go into the basement. I went down the stairs, listening for any sign of Trace. He would search for me once he realized I wasn't upstairs. I grinned and saw a little playhouse at the bottom of the stairs. I imagined little Trace playing it, maybe with the girl, pretending they were married, and they couldn't help the giggle escape my mouth. I slapped my hand over my mouth and glanced nervously at the door as I slunk around the back part of the basement. There were 2 rocking chairs and a TV here, along with an old drum set and an electric guitar. I went over to examine, then I froze when I heard the sound of the basement door opening. My heart slammed and looked around desperately, jumping into a little closet and quietly shutting the door. I peeked out as Trace appeared, looking around carefully, anger clear on his face. Corey, I know you're down here. The light wasn't on before, you idiot. He called. The light. Damn it. Why didn't I think of that? Aw, man, I was going to die down here. Trace would probably kill me and stuff my body in the wall, or in that little playhouse. I imagined him playing as a little kid rose in my mind again. I slapped my hand over my mouth. Oh no, giggles, be gone. This was not going to end well. I managed to fight away the giggles and slowly brought my hand down. I smiled to myself when I saw Trace sigh in annoyance and turned back to go up the stairs. Then, of course, my stumble felt the need to growl, and not quietly either. Trace spun around and instantly walked over to the closet. I gripped the handle tightly as he grabbed and tried to yank the door open. Corey, open this, he snapped. No one's home, you're hearing things. Go get mental help, I cried as I held the door closed desperately. Maybe he would get tired and go away. He managed to pull the door open slightly. I'm naked, you perv, I screamed and pulled it shut. Corey, open this damn door so I can kill you. Yes, because that makes me want to open it? Just open it. Are you jealous that you can't get it open? Aw, shit, why did I say that? Trace let out a frustrating growl and pulled the door open so hard I couldn't help but tumble out of it and onto him. We fell to the ground together by the impact. Trace ever so kindly breaking my fall. Aw, what a nice stepbrother. I looked down at Trace, lying on top of him on the ground. Our eyes met and I couldn't breathe. He was so beautiful, so sexy and attractive. My body on his felt right and comfortable. Time had seemed to crawl to a stop as we laid staring in each other's eyes. Even Trace had stopped, struggling now. The doorbell rang and it snapped out of us. Trace glared at me. Get off me! He snapped furiously. Reached out to hit me. I jumped off him and gave him a sweet smile. Thanks for breaking my fall, I called over my shoulder as I launched up the stairs, slamming the door and rushing to the front door.
Want to go to Walmart with us?
I am busy.
But do you want to go to...
No, I'm recording.
Don't care. Let's in the door.
The doorbell rang and snapped out of us. Get off me, he snapped, fiercely reaching. I jumped off him with a sweet smile. Thanks for breaking my fall, I called over my shoulder and launching up the stairs. And launching up the stairs. doors? Where is that? Slamming the door, I'm rushing to the front door. I pulled open as I heard Trace make his way up the stairs. I jumped behind Zeke as Trace entered the front hall, glaring at me, murder in his eyes. Zeke, protect me! I screamed and cowered behind him, the most manly way possible. Zeke laughed and stepped next to me, slinging his arm around my waist, and Trace glanced at him in amusement. Come on, don't kill my boyfriend, he said and laughed again. But then his eyes widened and snapped his mouth shut, realizing what he just said. Trace froze and stared between us. The two of us, shock clear on his gorgeous face. You're what? He whispered. Zeke laughed awkward and nervously, ran a hand through his hair on his other arm, still around my waist. He pulled me closer and nodded. Yeah, Corey and I are ordained yesterday in the pool. He trailed off and cleared his throat as Trace stared at him in complete confusion. But Zeke, you're... Trace struggled for words and... I'm gay. I'm gay, Trace. I just told my mom and she was okay, and I came over here to talk to you about it. I couldn't wait any longer. Please don't hate me, Zeke whimpered. Trace stared at Zeke for what felt like forever, his expression showing us he couldn't quite seem to comprehend his best friend's words. There was still something else in his eyes, an emotion I couldn't quite read, but it would pin most closely to, well, jealousy. But I couldn't tell. But it could be right. Could it? Okay, question of the video. Do you guys think Trace is jealous? Alright, that's all for this video. Gay is okay, just ask the GSA. Mwah!